Hello everyone, Zellerant here, and for today's video on Umamusume, we're going to talk about the upcoming support card banner that'll be getting paired alongside the Make a New Track Blazer scenario that's coming up. Now this one's been heavily discussed by a lot of people. I've even reacted kind of to a video on whether or not it's going to be worth it to pull on this banner. And so the cards that'll be coming with this are going to be the Major Ryan SR Stamina card, the Sakura Boxin SR Power card, but the big two ones being Admire Vega SR Guts, and the Narita Top Road SSR Speed. Now, while Narita Top Road is the SSR rate up on this, a lot of people are going to also want to try and get the Admire Vega SR Guts card on it. For the simple fact, it's basically an SSR hidden as an SR for the Guts build, which will be fairly strong in Track Blazer. But there are a lot of negatives to pulling specifically for the SR card. Which we'll be discussing, which is, you can probably tell that I'm on the simulator here. I'm going to kind of show you why with the simulator. But after we take a look at all the cards, we'll discuss on whether or not you're going to want to pull on this banner and why it's a very bad idea to make Admire Vega the specific reason you are. And with that, first we're going to just take a look at the support cards. We're just going to start right off the bat with the Major Orion Stamina card here. Nothing too crazy. It does have 5% race bonus. But you really want to hit that 10%, especially if you're going with like a weaker overall card. And there's really nothing crazy about this one. I mean, there's no gold skill. It's got some late surger stuff on it. Stamina bonus, guts bonus here. Basically 30% training friendship bonus. There's just so many better options. Very easy one to, I don't see really using ever, because usually when I'm taking a stamina card, I'm usually going to want a gold heal off it, which is why Super Creek's so good. And so that one's just an easy skip. Sakura Boxin Power, same thing. It's basically like the Speed Boxin, just in a SR variation and a power card. So basically all the same skills. Does have 10% race bonus, but we already have power cards that have 15% Nishino Flower power, as well as the free one we got if you were playing during the event that gave it out, which was the Marvelous Sunday power. And since there's only one sprint during Track Blazer, I mean, that's just a better option. The only real value you can get out of this card to me is if you're trying to get Tail Held High built into Parents, maybe, because you have easy access to it in the second event. But if you have even one copy of the Tamamo Cross Stamina card, you can get it on her from that card, and I would put that one above this one easily. In that for parent runs, or if you have MLB on Tamamo Cross, of course she can be good as well with her high training effectiveness, and she does have 5% race bonus as well. So nothing too special about that one. So now we're going to take a look at, so we'll skip Admire Vega Guts here. We'll actually skip to the SSR Narita Top Road first, because there's a lot I want to discuss on Admire Vega, especially when it comes to whether or not you want to pull in this banner, specifically for her if you're not after the Narita Top Road Speed. And so with Narita Top Road Speed, she is basically kind of like your Rico of this scenario, but some would beg to differ in the sense that we have the Fuku Speed card that came out with New Year's, which is also very strong for this scenario. And kind of when it came to talk about that card, the decision was whether or not to pull on her versus NTR, if Aura, either of them, when it comes to this. And that is because one of the things that makes her strong is in her unique effect, gives training effectiveness of 1 per 10,000 fans. You're going to be doing a lot of racing, so you're going to get up to that max of 200,000 fairly quickly to get 20 training effectiveness. She does have speed bonus, she has power bonus, she has 10% race bonus. Hint levels 2 with hint frequency of 30%. Nothing too crazy in the hints, decent though. We have non-standard distance, interpost proficiency, prepared to pass, launch radius is all I got. And then also the main green of her kit, Firm Conditions. And that is because her gold skill is the gold version of Firm Conditions. And also she has Pace Chaser, Savvy, Pressure, and Up-Tempo in her events. Now, what the gold version of Firm Conditions is if you basically have to hit it 3 times. You first have to hit Firm Conditions the 2 times that you normally do with the standard green. And then a 3rd time to get Firm Course Menace here. And what this basically adds on to it is now it not only does it give power stats, it also gives speed stats of 60 alongside it. So fairly good in that instance. But just remember, you're having to hit this thing 3 times. And so this has a base cost of 130, and then you have Firm Conditions, the first one, which is 90, and then the second one, which is 110. So now you're looking at 330 with no discounts on it. So even though we will be getting a lot more skill points in Track Blazer / Make a New Track, it's going to be still very expensive in terms of subtracting from all the white skills you'll be able to pick up through all the versus matches you'll be able to do in the scenario. And so, while it is good, you might not have as much value out of it. Plus, when you actually take a look at the scenario, because it is firm conditions, it's only going to apply to those specific ones. And this card is going to die after Make a New Track. So you're not going to want to use this one. So it's only going to be the scenario or the champions meetings that are during it. And so when you actually look at that here, and I got my cat decided to join me, you got Pisces Cup, which is not firm. So you're not going to use it there. You have Aries Cup, which is firm. You have Taurus Cup, which is firm. This is where we're going to start going back through all of the cups. In terms of naming convention, it doesn't mean exactly the same conditions, though. So Taurus Cup has firm. Gemini Cup will have firm. Cancer Cup will not. Leo Cup will be firm. So that's 3. And then Virgo is good. And actually, Virgo's not during Make a New Track. So you have 3. So 3 that she's going to be good with her gold, in that sense. But she'll still be even if you're not going to use the gold, still a fairly good, support card just for the stat stick alone. But me personally, for the stat stick alone, I mean, I'd rather just take Key to Sun Black and sacrifice that 5% race bonus, because then you have Professor of Curvature. But still a fairly decent card. I would take Fuku over it for sure. You already made that decision, basically, because that card is now gone and past. Just for the fact that it gives you a lot of stat sticks at MLB right off the bat, which is very important for winning those early races consistently, so you're not blowing through a lot of your clocks. And so, to me, that's not a reason to pull for her. Now, the big card that a lot of us, myself included, really want off this banner is going to be Admire Vega Guts, if you're really wanting to go with the Guts build and you really have the cards to make it work. And that is because she's basically an SSR in SR form. She gives, and now the Guts, you really want speed bonus, which she has right up off the bat. You really want power bonus, because you're going to get most of your speed and power off of the Guts cards. You will bring up, the standard Guts deck does have you bring 1 speed card, but a good chunk of it will come from the Guts hits. So that speed and power is very, very good. But then she also has 15% race bonus, as well as then 30% on the training, as well as some other little things here and there. Very, very strong stat stick Guts card. Nothing too crazy in the skills, but she does have like end closer savvy. She has a lot of end closer type stuff, but nothing crazy there. It's all about the stat stick for her on Guts, which is pretty much very important for your Guts builds. Now, one of the negatives you probably heard about the Guts builds and why it might not be worth it to pull or even use the Guts is the lack of skills they really have. Now, that does come down to the fact if you're going with like the free-to-play version where you're using the free Yukino Bijin, and then you have like Urara, then you have like Serious Symboli, which is another one that gives speed. Those ones, yes, if you're going with that free-to-play, that's the big sacrifice with the Guts deck. Yeah, you're going to have crazy good stats with the high roll, but you're really not, you're going to be hurting on skills. But if you're like in a situation like I am, which I know a lot of free-to-plays aren't going to be in unless you got a really lucky offside banners, you have Ines Fujin, Measure of Palmer, and something like Ines Fujin gives you your frontrunner heal with Restless, which would be very good in a Guts build with, say, Mihono Bourbon. Measure of Palmer has easy access to like frontrunner Savvy. Now, they both have only 5% race bonus, but to me, worth the sacrifice in the sense that I'm going to get a lot of good skills out of the card. So just know that if you're wanting to go with the Guts build, you really need to really have the deck that works well with it. And then maybe you can pair it alongside like your other two, like your 2 wit cards, and speed card can maybe give you some more skills. But now comes the decision on whether or not it's worth it to pull for her, though. This is a question I've seen a lot of people. I reacted to a video on whether or not it's worth it to pull specifically for Admire Vega, and I'm going to say no, it is not. And that is because the math is against you, and this is different than pulling for an SSR. The only reason you should be pulling this banner is if you are wanting to MLB and Narita Top Road, which you really do, because if you don't MLB her, if you're wanting her, You immediately lose 5% of the race bonus at Limit Break 3. You need MLB to get it, and that's going to be a big thing that's kind of makes her a difference maker to a certain extent from like Kita-san Black, other than the gold skill difference, because I would take Professor of Curvature over this. And while she does big training effectiveness, she's really a whale-only card. There's a lot of better stuff that'll be coming down the line that you should target instead. I'd rather just use MLB Kita-san Black and live with that, because she's still very strong with their gold skill. But pulling for an SR card, I don't know if any times this is going to happen in the future, but the reason you don't want to do this is you cannot pity SR cards. And when you look at the math for it, it is paired with 2 other SR cards. And so it reduces that rate up on it significantly. It's only got 0.25% more chances to hit than the SSR card, Narita Top Road. Now, I know some people will make the argument, well, you have the guaranteed on your 10 pulls, and that increases it to a like 4% chance on it, because it's guaranteed to be an SR. And then by extrapolating that 1% compared to all the others, I think it brings it to around a 4%, which then makes your overall potential chance to get it on average is like 1.5. I'm not going to go through all the math. That's just about an approximation. We'll just say 1.5. Just know that you've basically got double the chance of an SSR card. Now, if you've pulled on support card brands, you've probably had some really bad luck on some SSR cards. Now, if you go and think about, well, I was able to pity that SSR, you cannot do that with SR cards. If you don't get copies of her, and you're really going to want to get 3, you need to get her to Limit Break 2, so you can use, hopefully you've saved them, your SR crystals to take her up to MLB, because you really want her at MLB, that really take full advantage of her stat stick. If you're saying it's about a 1.5% chance get her, it should take 200 pulls on average to get her. Average. It can go way longer, it could be way shorter, but it can go way longer, and it can go infinitely longer because there's no way to pity her. And so you can go 400, 600 pulls to actually get what you want on that. So you can, and then you run into another problem, which I've done in the simulator, which I'm gonna showcase the problem with it on the simulator here. You can MLB NTR before her, and I've done it like multiple times and just messing around with this on stream. And then you have the question of, well, you just MLB'd NTR. Are you going to keep pulling on this banner to try and get Admire Vega guts when that pity is basically worthless now because you're not getting anything out of it? So to me, you do not pull on this unless you actually want NTR, which she is a good card if you're a whale, in my opinion, and willing to kind of spend on this one, and you know you're going to be able to get all the other good ones coming out. But for free-to-plays and all that, very easy skip. And now I thought I'd just kind of showcase some practice simulations of trying to get Admire Vega to hopefully discourage you from pulling on this. Now, knowing my luck, I'll have like the craziest luck in this simulator and kind of go against my point here. But every time I've practiced this on stream, it's like 3 out of 4 times. I say about 3 out of 4 times, it's like 400 pulls to get 3 copies. But we'll see here. All right, so I have it set down here, so we'll just go right off the bat. We didn't get a copy, didn't get a copy, didn't get a copy. NTR already. We got an NTR before her. Nope. No copy, no copy. No. Oh, there's our first one. I got a first one in 70 pulls. Nope. 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 You can already see this is going to drive you mad if you're pulling on this banner. You didn't get her there. Oh, we got 2 SSRs. Oh, there's our second copy. And what we at? 150. Second at 150. We're slightly above average odds here. Oh, there we go. We just got her to MLB using the SR crystals. It took 160 pulls. Hey, you did it in 160 there. You got 2 NTRs at this point, and that's where if you do pull on her, this is where you make the decision. Well, at this point, you're only going to take 400 to MLB her, and then you can maybe push for that. This is more of a whale decision at this point. But it took 160. All right, let's do it again. That one is actually about average luck, slightly better than average. You just go ahead and, oh yeah, I'm going to have good luck, of course, on video. We got 1 copy. All right, we're just blowing through polls here. There's our second copy at 120. Third copy. All right, that one worked out, man. I'm going to kind of encourage people to do this at this rate. All right, no copy. There's 1. There's 2 with an NTR. We're at 140. I have to pay attention to make sure I don't skip her because it doesn't keep track of the SR cards down here. 190. All right, we just hit 200 with only 2 pulls, right? Yeah, 2 pulls. And so we still need 1 more. Well, we got 2 Narita Top Roads. So we're on our way to MLB her, I guess. We just keep going. Nope. Oh, there's an NTR. Now you're at the decision point. Well, you might as well push to MLB NTR. So now you're going all the way to 400 pulls. Well, we just got another one to her. And so we might MLB. Holy crap. Here's the problem you can run into. I only got 2 pulls of Admire Vega. I just MLB'd Narita Top Road. I went above MLB on Narita Top Road on 250. Do you continue polling to get that last copy of Admire Vega? Well, let's just say we're going to try and get it. Nope. Nope. Now you're throwing away polls trying to get this last copy. We're at 300. And yep, here we go. Now we're getting the showcase. There we go. 400. We got Pity. Not really. We got her at the 400 pull, and now we have Narita Top Road 7 times because we're pitying her again because you have nothing else that can pity. So you just got, what, like 10 cleats? There you go. Now you got some other bonus cards on there, of course. But 400 pulls, and it could have gone a lot worse. We'll do 1 more. I think that one kind of displays what kind of luck you could have. Holy crap. Maybe my free pulls will go like this. 2 NTRs. If I got free pulls like this, I'm pulling for MLB NTR. Like if I get 2 copies of her in the free pulls, I will. Just know we will be getting free pulls. So you could very well get her in the free pulls. There's our first one there of her. There's, man, yeah, at this point, we're only at 50. We're in the free pulls. At this point, I'm pulling for NTR if I get 3 copies in my free pulls like that. And we just keep going. But, hey, all that luck just disappeared here. Oh, there was that. Our second one of her. And we're at 200. So we have limit break 3 NTR. And then we keep pulling. Oh, there. Oh, I just went over. There we go. We got our third Admire Vega in 280. But you would just be like, okay, we just keep at we just go at this point, go all the way to 400 and get our MLB NTR. And bam, there we go. We pity NTR. Didn't get anything else crazy, but we got her. But it took more than 200 pulls. As you saw, we almost MLB'd her before we even got to that. So hopefully that kind of shows why, unless you care about NTR, you should not pull in this banner. It is definitely a bait. She's a very good card. But it's just not worth it. You can get a decent stat stick with a high roll with the free-to-play Guts deck without this card. So don't worry about it too much. This could potentially brick your account, especially as a free-to-play. There's so many good things, good cards coming up that you definitely want to pull on, as well as Umas. We have, you have Kita-san Black that's getting paired alongside this. We'll be just talking about next. You have Nishino Flower, Seiun Sky Ballroom. You have Mr. CB Wit, Sumeru Zensky Speed, so many other things that you're going to want to pick up way more than this that have a lot more long-term value. So don't let it wreck your account blowing 400. And you can go to 600. I didn't hit 600 on this one, but I have had runs where I went all the way to 600 with only like 1 pull of Admire Vega, because it is very possible. You've probably seen it with your SSR luck. So that's going to be pretty much it on the upcoming support card banner and why you should skip it unless you're willing to whale out for Narita Top Road herself. But yeah, if you like my content, if you can like, comment, subscribe, it really helps. And thanks for watching.